were saying yesterday, you were saying, fuck those donors. Jeffrey Katzenberg comes out and is like, bro, they're not giving us money no more. And all of a sudden you're acting different. I thought Joe had the will of the people. We're gonna get to this man right here who's probably not having a very good morning, probably a very bad morning. Okay. In these trying times, I'm not gonna lie to you. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski have made me a fan. Okay. Morning Joe turned into Morning Joe with a U. Morning for Joe Biden. It's so much fun watching them cope. It's like watching news coverage from a different dimension. Like virtually every outlet is like ringing the alarms and these guys are on a totally different wavelength because they have one person watching that they care about. The sexual tension between these two is palpable. Oh, you mean the sexual tension between those two and Joe Biden, I think.
Sobering message he got yesterday from congressional leaders. And his biggest fundraiser was simple. We're losing. You're losing.
Wait, what happened? Wait, but you were saying yesterday, you were saying, fuck those donors. Jeffrey Katzenberg comes out and is like, bro, they're not giving us money no more. And all of a sudden you're acting different. I thought Joe had the will of the people. I thought Joe was representing specifically all the black votes. Okay. Yo, chill. Yo, don't switch up on him now. Don't do it. Yesterday, we were here yesterday when he was saying Obama needs to come out and defend Joe Biden. Where is Obama? Today, Obama came out and was like, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. All right. If you don't like your ad break, you can keep it. You can subscribe for $5, $6 now, or for free with a Switch Prime. You can also get gifted a sub. Gifted subs for all. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. White Twinkie, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Rooting for you, thank you for the 5 gifted. Let me be queer. 34 MKD 50, thank you for the 50 gifted. And Pussy 2. In Rainbow 09, thank you for the 5 gifted. Obama to the Duluth Dyson. Let me be queer. Absolutely zero people were thinking that I was going to fucking pop off with an Obama voice and turn that into a segue. Anyone that says they saw that coming is just a liar, okay? Neil Majestic, thank you for the 5 gifted.
And you're going to run out of money. Because the donors.
Obama question mark? Yes, it's not that good. Still not as good as generic black guy impressionist Steven Crowder. I know. 34 MKD 50 with another 50 big bones.
Have left. So I don't know what those 2 or 3 in his inner circle are going to say to that. But the fact is, they don't know more than Nancy Pelosi about polling. They don't know more about contributors than Jeffrey Katzenberg, who's dedicated a good chunk of.
Oh, now he cares about the donors. Wait, I'm sorry. When did that happen? How'd that happen? I thought he was saying these big donors, these billionaires, like, who gives a fuck what they have to say? All of a sudden, I guess he's a big Quibi fan. He's Mr. Quibi himself. He's like, oh no, not my favorite billionaire mega donor. from the minds that brought you, from the great minds that brought you Quibi, Jeffrey Katzenberg. He has some choice words for Joe Brandon's re-election campaign.
You know, the last decade to helping elect Joe Biden. And when you hear from congressional losers, we're losing.
Yeah.
You're losing.
Haters. Yeah.
And the donors have all abandoned you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter what people are saying on the inside.
Like I said last hour, I believe deeply in President Joe Biden's ability to run this country. Yep. I also trust more than anybody I've ever met in politics, Nancy Pelosi's political acumen. So when she speaks...
How are you a professional commentator for years and you say acumen like it's a spice, dude? That's wild. We know your Polish ass has never tasted cumin, okay? It's just weird, man. It's weird. It's weird that it's weird that these guys are taking a very different tone today. Taking a very different tone today.
I listen, and I think a lot of other people do.
Well, Democrats certainly do on the Hill.
Let's bring in NBC News and MSNBC political analyst and former U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill.
Oh, no. Oh, hell nah. They got Claire on. They got potato face Claire. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Claire. The biggest fucking... Oh no, not Claire. Bro, why are you continually shitting on Polish people? It's because they don't have access to the internet, so I feel like I can get away with it. Oh, they got Claire in the studio? Oh, Jesus, it's Jover. Claire, who I despise, I absolutely fucking despise, was one of the first people that is normally like center-right in the Democratic Party that came out and straight up was like, after the debate was like, this sucked. He needs to drop out immediately.
Claire, your thoughts this morning as the president works to recover from COVID and the RNC is confidently underway.
Yeah, this is a tough time for the Democratic Party for a lot of reasons. But if you look at the narrative of what's happened, I think, and I look at this.
Yeah, by the way, she's the reason she couldn't defeat Josh Hawley. So if you want to understand her, like her political acumen, or rather her political acumen, okay, this is a woman who lost to Josh Hawley.
Folks, from a perspective of somebody who might be running for Senate in a tough state. Because that's what Chuck Schumer...
Oh my God, can we stop dunking on her appearance and focus on her ideas? Make the misogyny stop. She can have bad ideas, but her face is fine. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. This isn't bait. No, this person is like legit. They just like laser in on my commentary anytime I make fun of a woman's looks. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm gonna shit on her. I'm gonna shit on everything. Okay. Yeah, no, equal opportunity smoke.
Schumer is focused on. Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, McCaskill hardly won the election before that, but Todd Aiken had to make those comments about legitimate rape. Yeah. Claire McCaskill is also the Pied Piper strategy, like the first version of that, the first successful version of that, which then Hillary Clinton also applied to Donald Trump and then, you know, famously lost. So maybe you can even say that the Democratic Party learned from her electoral success and then started deploying that everywhere.
Is focused on congressional candidates running in swing districts. That's what delivers majorities for the policies that we care about, for the values that we all share. And they watched the debate, realized that the age issue had now become something that was very, very big. And immediately afterwards, those candidates and those elected leaders of our party thought, well, let's give Joe Biden space and grace, because, you know, this was a horrible night for him, and everyone felt for him personally about how difficult that night had to have been for him and his family. And the other thing that happened is everyone waited a week to 10 days to poll. I think you can assume that every single battleground state where we have a Senate election waited 7 to 10 days and then went in the field. And they asked questions like, would it impact your vote if the U.S. Senate candidate refused to acknowledge that there might be difficulty with Joe Biden serving another 4 years? They asked questions like, do you believe Joe Biden is the strongest candidate for the Democrats to, in fact, field? Those polls all came back. And as time went on, it appeared that the circle around Joe Biden got closer and closer. And then it came time for the leaders of those groups, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, to take data to the president and say, this is what we're facing. This is really a problem. Not that anyone, I think, took joy in that. Not that anyone is trying to push Joe Biden off a cliff. I think everyone is feeling a lot of mixed emotions about this. Everyone. Because there's this thing looming, and we watched it.
No, it was joyful for me. I mean, maybe not what the fuck is this? What? What is this new emote, dude? I took joy in it. I enjoyed every moment. I have enjoyed every moment since Joe Biden's absolutely devastating debate. Okay? It has been a long and it has been a long sequence of vindication moments. Okay? It has been the longest string of HasanAbi vindications that have happened since then. Like nonstop, just a sequence of W after W.
Last night, that people who, 10 minutes ago were calling Donald Trump Hitler and unhinged are now going, rah, rah, it'd be great. So it is something that I think when they tried to move up the roll call, I think that, frankly, turned a lot of people that were sympathetic to where Joe Biden was to being angry and mad. That not only were they not listening to the concerns of the other elected people in his party, but that they were hell-bent on going forward even more quickly than they needed to try to slam the door on honest concerns of a whole lot of, and these aren't elite voters out there, guys.
Wait, whoa. What do you mean? That's confusing, because every dang day they were telling me on this program, I'm only a Joe watcher. I'm a Joe watcher, morning Joe watcher, right? For years. That's my only show. That's the only show that I watch. Okay? Joe's my problematic fave. And I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused by the sentiment that I'm hearing from this program, because it's entirely going against everything that I've heard from Joe this morning. It's just every other morning I've heard the truth from Joe, which is that it's the elites and it's not the voters that are desiring that Joe Brandon step aside and make way. Now I'm hearing the exact opposite. What's going on?
I can just tell you from my time over the last week, most people who come up to me that are folks like, my plumber who called me.
Yeah.
These are people that are really worried about Donald Trump being president.
Deeply worried, Mike. But it did seem like, to Claire's point, that the Biden team had a window here. That after the debate, we'll give you a chance, prove us wrong. Show us that you can still do this. And he's been out there. He's had some good performances. He's had some decent interviews. He got through the press conference just fine. But it almost seemed like the performance ended up not mattering because the perception had taken hold, that he no longer could do it. And the data backs that up. The fundraising backs that up. And it seems that these Democrats who really like Joe Biden, who are really deeply grateful to him for his service, who think he's been a very good president, but they no longer think he's a good presidential candidate. And nothing that has happened, despite Biden and his team's best efforts, has changed their mind.
Jonathan, age historically has gone undefeated. There's nothing you can do about it.
For the record, I do believe the plumber conversation. I do. Like, she's probably had the same plumber for years and years. I 100% believe that, like, old people, like, her plumber knows that, she's on TV and shit. He was calling to hit that. Yeah, exactly. Like, I could totally do that. Because even when I play basketball on the course, like, people will recognize me. And older people sometimes that recognize me will literally be like, what's going on with the election? Like, this stuff is crazy. Like, they'll just, like, bring that shit up. Younger people, on the other hand, younger people that recognize me will usually just want to take a photo or whatever. But, yeah. Do you get any elbows for your viewers? Yeah, I elbow the shit out of them.
You get old, and there are certain elements of getting older that affect you physically and sometimes mentally. The problem here is the confusion about who Joe Biden is today. Joe Biden remains today the decent, generous, honorable human being that he has always been all of his life. And to read the reports, as Claire was just indicating, of unnamed members of Congress.
I'm not wearing platforms when I'm playing basketball. I'm wearing Kyrie Irving. I'm wearing the anti-vaxxer 7s. Get it straight. Okay?
And unnamed members of the Senate who are thinking of their down ballot success this fall. They're thinking about their own jobs. Everybody understands that. But to be told that they're bitter about Joe Biden or disappointed in Joe Biden is really, really sad, because the man has given his best to the country.
Yes.
He has had a wonderful 4-year administration with more success that I would argue than Barack Obama had in his administration. He has changed the country. And Joe and Mika.
Bro, this is mourning Joe. They are literally mourning. They are mourning Joe Biden's death right now, his political death. That's crazy. The vibes have shifted so dramatically. The vibes have shifted. This is an obituary, dude. They're talking about it like he died already. Like, listen, man. Listen. He just got COVID. I know he's like 80 plus, and it's not great for him to get COVID again. But, like, he ain't dead yet. I wish they would have done this like 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said last week, it would be the most opportune moment for the Democratic Party to immediately shift the narrative away from Trump's martyrdom, shift the narrative away from the RNC, to have this drop. It would immediately deflate anything that the Republicans are trying to do. That's why when Jovid got Jovid, right, yesterday, Laura Ingraham was not talking about it. Laura Ingraham was staying on message. Here's the Republican Party's platform. They're doing unity while also uniting to, murder Mexicans and trans people, that kind of shit. But they stayed on message. She barely covered Joe Biden getting COVID, even though it was fucking breaking news at the time. So I think that they have an interest in, like, communicating the message of the platform, message and the platform of the Republican Party to as many people as possible, and this kind of deflates that. Republicans can't get that RNC boost Republicans can't even get that like reframing of their message and spread it as broad and as wide as possible if the Dems come out and fucking switch the candidate like this. They literally use most of the time speaking about Joe Biden.
I don't know about you. I do know about you, actually. But the sadness of this is personal for me, and I think for people who know Joe Biden. You don't want to see him pushed out. You don't want to see him hurt or humiliated. You want to see him thrive, to be a success, whether he walks away from the nomination or sticks it out for the nomination. You want to see him succeed.
Well, we do. We have known him for a long time.
Christ.
Mika and her family extraordinarily close to the Bidens. Have always felt a connection. The first Brzezinski Award named in your father's memory went to Joe Biden for good damn reason. And you are right. Joe Biden did more as far as bipartisan legislation than any president this century. NATO expanded what he's done in Asia to strengthen our position in Asia around China. Also unprecedented. Everybody's been talking about a pivot to Asia for years. Joe Biden finally did it. And these are the things that Donald Trump's talking about taking apart, whether it's NATO, whether it's Taiwan, you can go down the list. And so, yeah, Joe Biden has been, at least by our count, Joe Biden's been an extremely successful president. I will say, though, when you're told by members of Congress that they're losing,
I was muted. Jack. You guys might not think that him hammering the Taiwan message is important here. And yesterday I would have told you the same thing. But after watching the Hasanabi stream with Ray, now I know Joe Scarborough is actually talking about Taiwan to secure the Taiwan vote, the Hasanabi heads. Every 12-year-old in America now believes that Taiwan must be protected at all costs due to their allegiance to Kai Cenat's best friend, Ray, and Kai saying that the Chinese are ops to Ray. That's why he's talking about it.
They're going to lose the House and the Senate if he stays on the ticket. When you're told by members of Congress who have seen the polls that you're losing swing states and that your numbers are going down in swing states, and states like Virginia, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Minnesota are now in play. And when your top fundraiser over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years is telling you the money's gone, the donors have all gone away, you know, it's really incumbent on people that are around Joe Biden to step up at this point and help the president and help the man they love and do the right thing. This is not going to end well if it continues to drag out. Look at the events of yesterday. Mm-hmm. The events of the last 3 weeks, And
Damn.
at some point, you know, I can tell you, Mike, the anger that I hear is not at Joe Biden. The
Damn.
anger I hear are at the people that are keeping him in a bubble.
Or who have their own interests.
Or who may have their own interests, some financial, in keeping him in the race. That is the real anger. And let me tell you, that's not just the anger from him.
The final shoe is dropped. When you got Morning Joe talking like me, turning on Jill Biden. Finally, by the way. Now the Joe-mentum is over. The Joe-mentum has been stopped. It's pretty funny for Morning Joe Scarborough, to be like, oh, dude, the people around you are keeping you in a bubble. Bitch, you're the bubble. You're in the bubble, dumbass. You've been the bubble. You've been Joe's most loyal soldier. He called into your fucking program. I mean, he's bursting the bubble now, but that don't change the reality. We know what the bubble looked like. As Jake Tapper yesterday put it, seems like it's 8 people in Biden's closest circle, and that's it. The only people in the country that don't want Biden at this point to drop out are like 8 people in his fucking circle.
Inside Congress. That is anger from inside his own political camp. And it is widespread. It is widespread. Joe Biden deserves better. He deserves better than he is getting from those closest to him.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow.
This was amazing.